So good morning, everyone, and welcome to Harmony. You finally got in. And thank you so much for believing in us. I mean, maybe some of you just heard about us through word of mouth. Some of you may actually know people who are here. I know many of you from the school visit because I recognize you. So I'm glad that you are here, and I hope we have a really wonderful journey together, all of us. I will just start by introducing our principal, Mrs. Bina Pal,
She messaged me.
and our vice principal, Mrs. Ami Bhuta. So both of them are, Bina is of course the founder and principal of Harmony, and we've been running successfully now for a long time. Our school has completed 26 years already, and Ami has been with her right from the beginning. So they are very involved in the school process and in everything that we do. We rest assured you're in safe hands. All right. I would like the toddler teachers are with us today. So they will just introduce themselves and then they will move on because they have to, hello, good morning, to work and set up their own classrooms. So I will hand it over to them for a minute so that they can at least tell you about a bit about themselves, maybe. And we'll start from the side. Just right. We will see
Hi,
them.
my name is Nusrat. I work in beauty.
एक खाली बोल हाँ बोलो
Good morning. Welcome to the Harmony family. I'm Pooja Mehta. I work in Blossom morning class. I've been in Indian community since 2017. Warm welcome to all of you. Thank you. Please come in the front.
Yes.
Hi, welcome everyone. My name is Lakshmi. I'll be in the Blossom class in the morning and in the afternoon gratitude class. Hi, I'm Priyambada. And in the morning, I'm in the Nido Purity class. And in the afternoon, gratitude class.
Hi, this is Heer, and I'm working with Gratitude Morning and Blossom Afternoon.
Hi, good morning.
Shraddha.
I'm Shraddha and I'm working with the beauty class on the 7th floor. If you don't remember which teachers in which class, don't worry, just remember which class is your child and figure out it. But welcome to Harmony. Please come in.
Hi, I'm Janine. I'm part of Bakery Classroom morning and afternoon batch on the first floor.
Hi, I'm Anisha. I'm in Faith in the morning and in the afternoon class.
Hi, good morning. It's Dipti Patel. I'm in Faith classroom for morning and afternoon batch.
So that was all our teachers. We have a few who are not here with us
They will
as
be
yet.
online, but you will meet them later.
So all you need to remember is actually your class name, and you must have already figured it out from the emails that you're getting. So for example, if it's beauty, you would get emails from the beauty class, faith, gratitude, and blossom. Those are the 4 toddler classrooms. So you just need to remember those teachers' names at least to start with. And definitely once your children join and you keep interacting with them, you will get to know them very well. Okay, so we'll start with the orientation. And basically what we're going to do today is we're going through some of the rules and regulations. It is really important that you do follow them. I know rules when we read them out for the first time and you're thinking of your very tiny babies who are just 14 months or even younger and maybe joining through the year, you might feel they're really strict and stringent. But rules, I think, help create an atmosphere of security. And we can definitely make sure that the kids are safe in this environment and there's something, fair being followed for everyone. Okay, the toddler teachers are just leaving to go and set up their classrooms. And in case anyone hasn't met me, I'm Tanya, and you'll see me around at the school a lot. And I'll also be working with your children and doing singing in English with them and playing the guitar. So you will probably eventually know me as Guitar Auntie, but you will see me for lots of other things around in the school. Okay, so I'm going to start with some of the rules that we have. You will receive a soft copy of all of this, so don't worry, don't try to memorize everything. And on the top of the mail that you will receive, you will have the numbers of the school that you need to contact if ever you need to. Those are the office numbers. This branch is called Crystal. I mean, the building is Crystal, so we've just saved it as that. And we also have a couple of other branches which don't, Lower Parel has a toddler environment, but the other name which you will get, Neel Nandini, is only a primary environment, which is at Khar. Okay. So in terms of the general rules, yes, please come in. Just a request again for anyone watching online, please keep yourselves on mute. Thank you. So parents and guardians are requested to be available on the phone while your child is at school. Remember, they are very young. For any emergencies, if we need to call you, at least one parent or someone, even if it's a grandparent, needs to be available for us to contact. Be respectful of all the authority of the teachers and staff members of the school. So I do understand that when your children are settling, it's a very, very anxious phase, especially because most of your kids don't have language as yet. So when they cry, you're really worried because you can't really ask them about what's been going on. At this point of time, we always tell you that we do not discuss the child in their presence. So sometimes during settling, when the teacher hands over the child to you and the child is crying, you really feel that urge to ask what happened or how they've been or what upset them. The teachers won't talk at that moment because they have to go back and see to the other children in the class. And for most of the teachers, they know that this is a very natural process of settling. So they will just let you know that we'll send you a mail later or we'll talk later. And you're so anxious. We've often seen parents really attack the teachers at that point and yell and scream at them. And that is very hard for a teacher to then go back into the classroom and work with the rest of the children because they are so upset or overwhelmed as well. So please avoid doing that. There is a formal way of communication. We'll be going into that in detail a bit later as we go through the rules. So you must be respectful of all of them. And they might even give you, be standing at the gate sometimes and tell you when you park wrongly or things like that, because we often see parents parking their cars and then you'll have, or even if you're not there with them, the driver will open the door and then there's a Didi that will slowly take out the child and you've parked right in front of the gate. The entire society has come to complain. I'm usually the person they complain to and attack. And when we go outside and tell you like you really need to move your vehicle or something, parents often shout at us and yell at us saying the child is so small and everyone believes it's their right to park exactly in front of the gate. But please avoid all of that. We don't allow it. The police station is right here. We get constant complaints and we don't want to have to shut down the school. So please obey those rules. Yes. You will need to leave 3 sets of clothes in 2 labeled cloth bags. And each item of clothing, and even the shoes that they wear on a daily basis needs to be labeled. This is because, of course, they not only soil themselves as at this age because they are in the process of toilet training, but they also do a lot of water work and food preparation. And here the children are encouraged right from the toddler stage to eat by themselves. So they drop a lot on themselves and we change their clothes. Now, when you get that set of clothes back, you'll get, say if they've messed it up on one particular day, you need to immediately replace it and send it back in that cloth bag the next day. So make sure that we always have enough sets of clothes with us and including diapers if they are still on diapers or extra underpants if they've already been toilet trained or anything. The school will not be held responsible for lost items like water bottles, shoes, raincoats, snack boxes, etc. You don't need to send any of that. Usually we tell the parent because we don't often have place to hang everything that even if it's raining, you send them in their rain gear, we'll give it back to you at the door itself. And when you pick them up, you can come with it. Do not send any toys, money, jewelry, or any valuable items to school. Jewelry at all costs, please avoid. I mean, or any kind of trinkets or rings, it may be even a holy medal or something. But children at this stage, especially in the toddlers, often in this oral phase, so they keep sucking on things and it's a very dangerous choking hazard at many times because it suddenly will snap or other children come to fiddle with it. In rare cases, we've had children almost swallow things and all our staff are first aid trained, so it's been handled, but it could have been a very dangerous situation. If your child brings home any material that you cannot identify, please check with the adults at school before disposing it, because for us, that could be a valuable part of our material. So children are often very attracted to the Montessori materials, and because everything is tiny and child size, they love to take it home. Also because they don't have language. Remember, they're not stealing. There is no trauma. Don't send them to a therapist. Just like small things, and because they don't have language, they can explain to you what they've been doing at school. So sometimes that's their only need to take it home because they can show it to you. And very often parents just discard it thinking it's something the child has just picked up. The teachers will not distribute birthday party invites, and the policy doesn't permit teachers to attend birthday parties of any child. So when we say no, please remember we don't hate your child in any way. It is just our school policy to keep it professional. Religion is treated as a cultural activity, and all festivals are celebrated at the school. So we just have a little like a prayer corner in the classroom where we have pictures of all different gods and things. And we do, when there's a festival, we do it as a cultural activity. So we might cook something related to that, or we might decorate the class for Diwali or Christmas, and it's just a very, I think, very unified approach to all of this. We don't get into mythology or actually any kind of story of religion, because most religions, I think the history is quite violent or always involves something very dramatic. So we don't do all of that. It's more of how this festival is celebrated. So they actually help us sometimes even clean the classroom and do fun things in a very practical way. Home visits. So I think many of the teachers may have even contacted you and told you about the home visit, or I don't know whether it's been started with some of you. So to help your children settle down in school and to ensure this smooth sort of transition into the classroom, the teachers will call you usually in the week just before your child is due to join. So for those joining immediately, this home visit will happen sometime now. But otherwise, if your child is due to join only in September or in Jan or something, it will happen in that week before. Now, the teacher will coordinate, please come. The teacher will coordinate with you, and they will fix a time as to when they can come and visit you and your child at home. This will be discussed with you. So, of course, it will be a time when your child is awake and is convenient for you. They will come for just about 15 minutes maximum. And that is the time you will just treat them like a normal guest. They will not eat or drink anything other than probably a glass of water at your place. And your child, you can just introduce them to the child, not so much in a way that they are a teacher, and please avoid using any terms that even at home, if the child is not eating, don't ever threaten them that I'll tell your teacher. Because first of all, they call us auntie, and we want that approach to be that we are just facilitators who will help them along the way. We follow the child and their growth, and not that we are somebody scary and intimidating, that this is their first impression of school. So please don't do anything in any way to scare them off. So when the teacher comes into your classroom, they will just meet your child. They will also observe your environment in that brief time. So they will understand whether there are grandparents living, whether there are pets in the environment, things like that. So when your child comes into school, the teacher can also have a conversation with your child. So even though your child doesn't have language and may not be responding back, the teacher can engage with your child, and the child feels that this is somebody who knows me and can talk about things that sound familiar to me anyway. So it really helps them with settling. With regard to pick up and drop, so this is a very important rule. Please take note of this. So firstly, of course, you are requested not to stop or park your vehicles outside the main gate. So ideally, what you can do is you drop your child. I mean, you will be coming up to the class, be settling for sure. So you get down from your car. If your drivers are waiting in the car, you ask them to take a round and then come back to pick you up. But don't stop right here, because we have not only the toddler classrooms, we have primary classrooms and everything. So there's a lot of children coming into school in the morning. And we don't completely own this building. So there are even a couple of residential flats here. So that really upsets the residents around. And we've had a problem sometimes where parents have almost made 3 lanes and the entire road is blocked. So please avoid doing that, because for even when we come to correct you and your child is present there, it's very unsettling for the child. To think that the teacher may be sort of becoming my parent in some way, or the parent getting angry with us, it just creates an atmosphere of disrespect. So please avoid that. So just have your drivers or whatever move around, and then they can come and pick you up. because it might take you some time to drop your child up to the classroom, since some of the classrooms are on the higher floors. So the lift also, you might have to wait for it because there are a number of children getting in. So please keep that in mind at all times. For new and settling children, to ensure that your child settles down quickly at school, definitely follow the procedure set by your class teachers. So usually what happens is that for toddlers, and those of you who have come for the school visit probably know it, we try and call them initially in the last 15 minutes of their class time. So for example, say if it is a 9 to 12 batch, initially the teachers would like to call you at around 11:45 to the play area. This is provided the weather is good and they can play on the slides and the trampoline and things like that. But in case we are having bad weather, like during the rains, if your child is settling in these few months, the teacher will coordinate with you as to how things are on that day. They will give you a call and tell you whether you need to come to the class or whether to come to the play area. So initially, you will be there those 15 minutes with them down, and gradually, when you come to the classroom, which usually happens after a couple of days, if you've not started directly at the class. And then they will ask you to come directly to the class. So you will be dropping your child to the classroom. And for the first few days, you will sit in with your child. So it could be a parent, it could be a grandparent, nanny, anyone who's accompanying the child. But you come in and the teachers will give you a corner or a place to sit. Now you are simply sitting as an observer. We ask you to bring a book for yourself to read. No gadgets, no phones, no Kindle and things like that. And the teacher will try and entice your child to come in and take up some activities. So you just need to sit there. Your child, of course, at that stage, because they are new to the environment, will gravitate towards you. So they will sit nearer to you, but try and let the teacher interact with the child. So your child may show you something when they're working with it. So you can just nod and smile that you acknowledge they are there, but don't try and instruct them on how to work with something. Let the teacher do that. And after those first 15 minutes or so, the teacher will ask you to take your child and leave. They'll tell you it's time to leave. We'll see you tomorrow or so. So then even if your child seems really happy, please follow the rules of the teacher, take the child and leave. And after those first initial 3 days or so, the teacher will ask the child to come in alone. At this stage, of course, I would definitely tell you that to let your child walk into the classroom. So you can hold their hand or let them hold your finger or something and let them walk in. Because if you are carrying them and trying to separate the child gets usually very upset because they're so warm and cozy in this embrace that it's harder for them to sort of leave you. And then when they realize you're not being asked to come into the class, which is a completely new situation for them, it's really hard. Now, when they come in on that day, separate from you, you will be asked to wait at a particular spot outside the classroom. So it could be on the staircase somewhere, or it could be in an area if there is a sort of waiting area outside the classroom. Now, I know over there that there may not be fans. It could be quite warm. It's sometimes uncomfortable almost for a parent, but please just bear with us because at this point of time, sometimes the child is very insecure and we can keep them for literally 5 or 7 minutes. We let them do one activity and then we hand them over to you. And when we tell the child that your mom or dad or whoever is waiting outside, the child is completely trusting us at this point. So when we hand them out, and if you at that time are feeling hot and have gone for a walk down or something, the child can never trust us again. They feel very insecure. Like you told me my mom would be waiting, or they said they would be waiting and now you were not there. So please make sure that this settling phase, you just completely and strictly follow the rules of the teachers. In case you as a parent cannot come for settling, it's nicer if the child has somebody consistent. So even if it's a nanny, if it's a grandparent, that is fine. But just let the person be consistent because otherwise, if you are coming on the first 3 days and sometimes the child, then you're going back to work. And on that day, it happens that the child is separated from you. They feel, they often have that association that you didn't come and now I was left alone and things like that. So avoid those kind of things during settling. Yes, when you are in the class, of course, as I said, you'll be an observer. So do not interact with any of the material or don't try to chat with the teacher or the other kids. There'll be a lot of the older children in the class who are around 2.5 who love to come and have a chat with you. You can just smile And the ones with good language will even ask you, like, auntie, uncle, what book are you reading? I also have, my mama also reads, things like that. So just avoid these conversations, just smile at them if you have to, and then get back to your work. Yeah, I mentioned about gadgets. Yes, to facilitate the child settling down quickly in school, regular attendance and consistency is important. With the adult even picking and dropping the child. Punctuality is important. So you have to have your child at school as per the time slot that the teacher gives you. So usually what happens is that most children in the classroom, like when you start, would already be older children settled into the environment and may have been coming for a few months or even half a year or so. When your child comes in, we give you a fixed settling time, which would have been discussed with you depending on their sleep and their habits and how things are with you at home. So say, for example, if you're in a 9 to 12 batch and you feel with the teacher that the best time you can bring the child in is around 10:30, then that would be your settling time. So please stick to that time if it's been given to you. And as your child gets more comfortable and they increase the time, the teacher will let you know of any change. So if the teacher feels that, okay, after a few days or so, I would like you to come in at, say, 11, maybe because, for example, if I'm coming in for singing, so they're saying now the child seems settled and we want to introduce another face to the child besides just the two class teachers. So they might sort of tweak the timings and just follow that because the teachers definitely have a plan when they are doing this. So what happens is they will always try and call you a settling child in when the rest of the class is fairly quiet or the older children are at peace and busy doing activities, so that one teacher is free to completely focus on your child and introduce them to a lot of activities till your child becomes fairly independent in something, and then we have them sort of paired up with other settling children, who may cry or may be at a different phase in their settling. When the children are staying for a longer period, they will inform you what time to fetch the child as well. So, and also from where. So initially you will be picking them and dropping them from the class. But say, for example, your child stays for a longer period, and if their settling is from, say, 11 to 12, and the teacher's anyway bringing all the children down at 12 o'clock, then she might tell you, you don't need to pick up your child from the classroom. I will bring them down. So just follow all those rules and make sure whoever's the person coming with your child is informed of the same. For late pickups, if you are likely to be late, call on the school branch numbers. The branch numbers will be sent to you via email. And avoid being late at all costs. Please remember that your child does not like to be the last one to leave or be the last one on the playground when we have field trips or anything. They get very anxious, because for them, even that 1 minute or 2 minutes late, even though the teacher's with them, is very scary when everyone else has gone and been handed over to their parent or whoever comes to pick them up. In terms of dress code for the children, let them wear something that is absolutely comfortable and that encourages independence. So avoid any belts and dungarees. I know children look absolutely adorable in dungarees, but it's very inconvenient for them, especially in an environment where they're trying to be independent. Remember, we have children who are almost 2.5 or 3 in the same classroom. So those children are toilet trained and are going independently to the washroom. So very often the younger children get trained faster if they can pull down their pants, or if girls are in just a simple dress where they can go to the washroom. And they love doing that because it works like having an older sibling in the class when there's an older child. So they like to copy that child. So if they are in comfortable clothes, it's easier for them to manage. And of course, they either sit at the table and work, or they are on the floor and working. So they should be able to cross their legs and sit comfortably.
Not long dresses, or best thing is t-shirt and shorts
Yeah.
for both genders. It's the
Yeah,
best
and just
thing.
elastic waist
Elastic,
shorts,
yeah.
please.
Not those tight denim shorts, because they should be able to pull them down and pull them up by themselves.
Yeah.
T-shirts also short sleeves. Otherwise, their sleeves get wet and they don't like. Initially,
And they love working
don't-
with water.
Yes, they love washing their hands.
We don't keep AC last very.
Yeah,
Very
we
high,
make it
yeah,
very
very
cold.
cold. Yeah, so. Their hair, if they have longer hair, please make sure it's tied up neatly. And ideally, it should be off their eyes in any way. We have a lot of children coming in with squints and all because they have a fringe that looks very cute, but it's very inconvenient because children don't usually brush their hair off their face. They look through all of that. So please make sure they need nails must be cut regularly. And when they have a school outing, which will happen later once the child is settled, they need a water bottle with a strap so that they can be independent carrying it. With communication, yeah, they'll be with parents for the field trips with toddlers or your nanny or somebody. Communication between home and school. You can communicate with the teachers via email only and no WhatsApp messages. Even you will have the teacher's number because we usually have a phone chain in case of emergency. So usually you will see the teacher's number, but no WhatsApp messages, no voice notes, no messaging us. I have had parents send me a WhatsApp message. I've not responded because that's the rule. And then somebody even messaged me, what's your problem? So please avoid all of that. We do have lives outside post-working hours as well. But please follow the email IDs. Each classroom will have an email ID. So you will be getting messages from them and they will even tell you about snack duties and any events coming up, workshops, all of that. So if you have any anxieties, please mail them on that, through that, use that way, mode of communication. If you want to leave a message during school hours for the teacher, you can call on the office number, the branch number that has been given to you. If you need to inform the teacher of a class about any physical pain or ache that your child may be experiencing, or any event that may cause your child to be upset, send a written note to the school. Now you write a note, and when you drop your child, the child can actually just hand it over to the teacher. Do not discuss anything in front of your child because that sometimes make them act up. If you, like if you communicate a message to the teacher and say, he's not used the washroom, he might need to use it now. So he may be having some sort of discomfort in his stomach. The child may not work the entire day saying my stomach is paining. So they do tend to act up on whatever you said. So just send us that written note. They actually feel very important handing this over to us. And the teacher has the message and will definitely take whatever precautions are required. In case there is any change in your home. So for example, if as a parent, one of you is traveling or grandparents are visiting, there's a death in the family or any sort of change, please write into the teachers and let us know what's happening. Or if there's any member who's fairly close to the child that's unwell and you've sort of been discussing this in the presence of the child, let us know because children usually act out in school. So Montessori materials, because they are concrete, often work like a psychology play therapy setup. So the children in their frustration or whatever may start banging materials. They may show slightly regressive behaviors like sucking on their t-shirts, so all sorts of things. And we often see these happen at school. Now, if we know or we have some idea as to what's happening at home, it's always better because we can preempt the situation and handle it with the best of care or keep a watch out for any minor signs that we can also share with you at home so that you are on the same page and can work with us. Yeah. Introduce the teachers of the class to any new nanny or relative or guardian who may pick and drop the child. So we have had an incident where a parent has had a particular nanny pick up the child regularly for months on end, and then they have sacked that particular maid and got someone new. But they've not informed the school. And when that same old nanny has come to the school, shown up to pick up the child, we have handed it over thinking that this is the regular, nanny that comes every day. So please inform us. It is necessary as a security precaution. Also, what happens is that we will need to see an ID, some identification of this person. So you can write into us and tell us a day prior that there will be this person coming to pick up the child for whatever reason. If it's an emergency, also call the school office and say so-and-so and ask that person to carry some form of ID. And you also, if you can, send us a picture of that person so that the teachers can recognize this new person who's come in. I know sometimes we even had a fight one year because the parent hadn't sent the mail and a grandparent came to pick up the child and It was a big showdown because the child was calling, obviously, the grandparent by the name, and she was like, why aren't you handing the child over? And we said, we've not been authorized to do that. So I know it's a situation where the mother just couldn't come, but for us, it's purely a standard protocol. So please follow that. Yes. If you have any suggestions, feedback, complaints that you need to discuss, and these may crop up. As I mentioned, your children don't have language. So of course, your anxiety is very understandable as well. As I mentioned, don't shout at our teachers. They are the ones working very closely with your children. But you can definitely write in if you don't want to upset the teacher and you don't want to write into the class. You can always send an email to the office email ID, which we've given you, and ask for a meeting with either Bina, Ami, or myself. One of us will definitely try and meet you as early as possible since receiving your mail. And we should nip these issues in the bud itself. Don't keep any anxiety or any ill feeling. We are all human, and just like you have a busy schedule, even the teachers are. Some of them travel from really far. Many of the parents come by car and get off, and the teachers are coming like 2 hours before by train and everything to reach on time. So it's hard sometimes to be shouted at during the day. And please contact our staff via email only. And this is between 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. Yes, you can send in those emails. The teachers may not read the mails after 6 p.m. The next point where they will probably read it is early in the morning between like 8 and 9 before the children come in is usually when they would check the mail again to see if there's any issue or something. And with regard to snacks, so I think I mentioned to many of you who've come for the school visit that we have a snack duty. So if there are, say, around 12 to 14 children in the classroom, then on every 14 days or so, it'll be your snack turn. Okay, so you get a snack turn. We have a fixed menu, which is a Monday to Friday menu, which is, healthy, vegetarian, vegan snack. And you just have to see that. So if, say, for example, on a Monday, you have any steamed item like idli or dhokla, dosa, whatever, you have some item like that. You need to check that. The teachers will let you know the quantity you need to bring. It will be mentioned on that list. And you bring that for the whole class. If for any reason you cannot bring snacks on that day, if you know in advance, you can swap your snack turn with another parent. If you don't know how to make a particular item but can still do your snack duty, you can just write in an email to the teacher and they will tell you what you can send alternatively. So like if you don't know how to make that item, they will give you something else that hasn't come on the menu that you could possibly prepare. With the toddlers, of course, for all children, snack must be freshly prepared and healthy and sufficient. We will let you know in case there is a period where the class is going through transition. So that sometimes what happens is that you have 14 students who are there the entire time, but there is a toddler who's moving to primary. So they are in between classrooms. So there may be times when there appear to be more than that 14 students in your class. And your snack duty, the teacher might actually ask for a bigger quantity at that time. Just because this child is probably moving to primary, but they prefer to eat in their toddler class because that's their comfort zone. So they will let you know the quantities.
Let's come back. Yeah, start.
Okay. So things like fruits, cucumber, carrots, corn, etc. ideally should be sent in the morning itself. So if it's 9 to 12 batch, you can send it at 9 o'clock. Or if it's like 12:30 to 3:30 or something, send it at 12:30. Or you can even send it a day prior, the fruit and vegetable, because it's used as part of fruit preparation in the classroom. So the DDs have it, and then the children themselves cut that cucumber and all. So if you are finding it inconvenient, say your child's settling timing is only 10:30 and you can't come twice, then you can just give it the previous day. And the teachers will keep it in the fridge or whatever. And that so only the hot snack should be fresh and sent at that time. Yes, if you forget your snack duty on any particular day, the school will arrange for snacks and you will be charged 2,500 rupees for the same. So that is because we will get them snacks from here. In some cases, of course, if you know in advance and say you haven't been able to swap, your turn with anybody and for any reason you are unable to get snack on that day, you can always pay that amount also to the school office and let us know that on this day your child snacked on, and the school will arrange for it in advance. So even the teachers might plan a cooking activity with the children in the classroom to do on that day.
Or we have a few people who send home cooked food and we know them. So they are our teachers' relatives. So in case if you can't make the food, we can organize from there. So it's a home cooked. At the last minute, we have to buy from a store, which we don't like. But
Yeah.
We can share their number with them and
yeah, we can share the number of these people and you can order directly from them.
If you need, yes. With regard to illness and medication, please refrain from sending your child to school if they are in any way unwell. If your child is unable to attend school for over 3 days, please send us an email along with a doctor's certificate. In case they've not seen a doctor and you've done home remedies, please let us know that what your child has been taking. Because even once they get better and they come back, they're often a little drowsy or weak or anything, and the teachers need to be attentive to all of this. So let us know. If your child has fever of like 100 or above, and we notice that in school, we will call you and ask you to pick up the child. Also, we notice things like hand, foot, and mouth, or any rashes, or any sudden change that we feel could be an illness cropping up, you might be called to pick up your child. If your child has any allergy, please inform the class teachers via email so that we can tweak the snack menu as per that, because children are too young to know it themselves and they often love food because they get to eat independently. So if there's any allergy, or even if it comes up along the way, like right now you may not know, but after a few months you might figure out when you try food with your children. So let us know immediately if there is an allergy. Yes, now in case they've been absent for 3 or more days, you will send us an email. And if they're going to resume school the next day, please send us an email, and that email should reach us before 6 p.m. on the previous day, so that we know the child is coming. Otherwise, sometimes what happens is the child comes to school with a nanny and there's no doctor's certificate, there's no email from you, and we will not allow the child to come into class. Now, this again happens where then the nanny is outside trying to call you and the child is just waiting out because they're not allowed into the classroom and things like that. So please avoid that. It makes the children very uncomfortable. And the teacher also is really upset that the child has to go through this, but they have to follow the rules as well. So please take note of that.
If you're traveling and your child doesn't come to school, please inform us.
Yeah.
Because we may assume the child was unwell and is coming back after being unwell without a certificate.
With regard to injury and accidents, if your child has any minor accident in school, they will be given first aid. All our staff are first aid trained. So they will give the required medication or treatment that is required. And we will make a detailed accident report. They will fill out this accident report form saying what time and what was given and things like that, or what happened that caused it, etc. And that will be handed over to you at the end of the day or mailed to you at the end of the day. Yeah, by email. Yeah. In case there is an emergency for any reason and we are trying to contact you, but you're going to take time to reach, we will rush them to the nearest hospital. We have a few hospitals that like Smriti Nursing Home and Surya Hospital for this branch. So we will take the child there, giving you a call if we feel that the situation needs immediate attending to, which is serious. Transitioning from the infant community to the primary class. So usually anytime between 2.6 to 3 years is when your child will move from the toddlers or the infant community to the primary. And that transition is done internally with the teachers. So usually what happens is that the toddler teachers, if they'll know which class the primary class child is going into. So they will start by something as simple as telling your child that we need to give a book to this classroom. So your child feels very happy to get out of class. We've all enjoyed that as children, I think. And they will go for a walk with the teacher to this other class. They will drop a book there. Then slowly the teacher will say that, oh, I need to chat with this teacher for a minute. So would you like to take up some work? And a teacher from the primary class will now give your child some activity to work with for about 5 minutes. And then gradually we start extending this time where your child slowly moves in completely to the primary class. And they leave their toddler environment. But this also takes a while, and we may inform you only once we are pretty sure that your child is staying for over an hour or so in the primary classroom. We might tell you that your child is actually sort of ready to move there. We will arrange for a meeting where you get to meet the primary teachers as well of this classroom. Once your child is fully transitioned to the primary environment, you will be informed of the primary rules during this meeting. Now, the primary rules are different from the toddlers. They're much stricter. You cannot come late and things like that. So please be aware that the primary teachers are not meaner than the toddler teachers. They're just following rules set by us. So, and this is again to just make the environment secure and prepare them for things that they will need to be ready for. Yes, I think, yeah, with regard to feedback on the child's progress, which is the last point, we have an evaluation and an open house where like a parent-teacher meeting, which happens once at midterm and once at the end of the year. So usually around December, Jan is when we would do the first open house meeting with you. So children have a holiday on that particular day and only parents come in and we chat with you about the child and how they're doing. And there's one at the end of the year. So that when they have that one at the end of the year, which would be like in June, now that we are extending the school term and probably close around 12th or 15th of June. So towards the end of May, May or June is when we would have that open house. And I think it's May on the planner. May? April. May.
Soon receive.
Yeah. So once you receive the planner, you will know of those dates. And that's when you will get a written report as well that you can keep with you of your child. So we'll send a soft copy. And but that is what you will have something in writing about your child. If you for any reason cannot make it for the open house, that parent-teacher meeting, we don't reschedule. So you can just collect the report at the end of the year or whatever it is. At the same time, you don't have to wait for open house to have a meeting with the teacher. If there is anything that troubles you during the course of the year, or you want some feedback about your child, please remember, just follow that protocol of writing in to that email address of your classroom, and you can always request for a meeting. So the teachers will usually try and arrange it either at the end of the day, or sometimes you don't even need to meet them physically. You might just want to get on a phone call where they'll do a conference call with you. Sometimes you may be anxious about something that's coming up, or maybe say you're expecting another baby and you feel your child might have a bit of anxiety around that. And you would like one of us to be present as well. So then you can always request for that you would like the class teacher and maybe somebody from the management as well there around to guide you. So please don't hesitate to do any of that. Anything else, Ami, you'd like to add? We can take your questions, yes. No, so we don't.
End of the year.
Yeah, end of the year. With their report, you will get maybe a picture of your child doing a couple of activities.
We, avoid getting the phone out to take the pictures because the teachers have to be 100% there. They are really young and
for your child's birthday, when
yes,
we call for ingredients from you and they'll be cake in the classroom. So that particular day of your child's birthday, we may try
we'll take
and
pictures and send.
share it with you personally.
Yes.
Being disciplined, right? Not being even take sometimes. You said maybe better
Yes.
change the mind the first day. So if I'm being nice with the space point mind, I will think of paper.
So we will call you
So we
before
don't
giving
give
any,
any
yeah,
medicine.
We
without
don't administer
what-
medicines on our own.
And so about like she has massive allergies, so at every point there has to be certain type of a sensing or an allergy. So you give that in the child's bag, because normally today where she goes into the bag. So then would it be with the school?
If there is an EpiPen, which we keep the EpiPen and the teachers are trained. I mean, you can exactly explain how it has to be administered.
Right. So
Just in case, fortunately, we've never had to do it.
And we
But-
keep that medicine in the class with doctor's prescription. You'll have to send it physical in the pouch. Explain the whole process one-on-one with teachers, and a helper all will be present there. So one day you have to decide when, and then you can do that. And that time also we'll give you a call immediately before. I mean, of course, we'll attend it and simultaneously one of us will. And allergies, when you will tell us, those items will be off the menu for
Snack list.
everyone.
Nobody
And
can bring.
We
it
expect
to
all the parents
the
to
class.
please respect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
My daughter is already doing Nido.
Okay.
So from Nido to toddler, what is the second grade? Or should I talk to the teacher?
It varies
Yeah.
from child to child, so we'll have to see whether your child has spent how long and alone in the nido. Then maybe teacher will transition or will take your help to do that. That one-on-one she will guide.
Two questions. Really appreciate all the work doing and looking forward to it. Started something. Good meditation of the bread, we were one of the 6 years.
Little us.
Programs and very early. You can see this thing, you can see it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then like, school starting like 1990.
No, no.
I was looking for a schedule a little early on to plan how to manage. Yes.
That answer we had planned usually when school starts and orientation, but there were many questions from parents before joining, so we thought of pre-booking it. So very sorry about that. Definitely, definitely. All that you
Everything will be there on the planner.
the planner. You will
The
be
whole year's plan will be given to you very soon, in a day or two.
That are very, very muddy, span, law, and sometimes WhatsApp group. Yeah.
So usually what happens is we don't have.
No. We every year get this suggestion.
You don't want to miss anything.
So what we do is that we usually we just follow the email thing because we had WhatsApp initially. We didn't have emails. We had only WhatsApp and it became absolutely crazy. And especially for people like us who are on every WhatsApp group.
When you don't hear from us, we just hear from your end.
Like a broadcast.
Yeah, that's my elder daughter actually does. So every grade, for my elder ones, every grade has only the admin and only the teachers who are there. They only post the necessary, so the parents are able to respond. And rightfully, we have to write back to the school if we have any queries on what is posted. So what she's probably saying is that, since I'm working, there are times that we may tend to miss out on the emails, which we can consider that.
I've never faced this problem. The schools are always informed.
Yeah.
And there are class groups for parents. A parent usually posts the screenshot of the Gmail or the mail received.
Yeah, that also is there in my.
So parents,
is-
yeah.
that
So
is
parents
every one
usually
of-
once
usually
they
get
start
together
forming a
and-
WhatsApp
The
group
main reason for
and all
emails
these
we
important
need
emails are sent.
on record with us. That's the
Also,
very
you can-
important
yeah.
reason
You-
for us to
yeah.
follow mails.
You can save the class
Both the parents are
Gmail
there,
ID.
so-
And we email both the parents.
This is
Yeah,
coming
not
from
one.
our end, we only by mail. We don't have the authority to WhatsApp you.
I mean,
That is your information.
it never ends.
has been-
That won't happen. That doesn't happen.
We can't message them. Basically.
No, not
No.
on that, but privately. The
Then-
teachers will keep on receiving WhatsApp messages.
Okay.
No, we have tried.
We
everything.
completely understand. You're coming from. We get this every year, sequentially through the year.
Yeah.
I know it's easy. Even I'm, WhatsApp is just very easy to mails. I have the same issue, but it's just that it's more organized like this because parents then always have a number and then
cleaning
meets you outside when they hand over your child. It becomes a point that now I'm kind of
go to my
it gets misused
stop.
somehow during the course of the year. So we're just taking this, but when you form your own parents group,